Good afternoon. It is October 11th, 2023, and today we had a range day. Um, so yeah, we went down and then we went up. Big rally in the end of the day. So let's talk about why this rally happened. Yesterday, when we had this huge breakout, it formed a body gap. And that's exactly where prices were trying to fill. So first I'll show you right there. So when it hit this price level, which was just the wick, it hit that to the tick, and then we had a rally. You see that right there. And then it couldn't close the body gap. So we get a couple legs up, it traps a bunch of longs, and then a big sell off to close the body gap. And pretty much as soon as it closed that body gap, that's when the rally started. So I just wanted to point that out. But yeah, let's talk about these trades. So in the morning, I had this trend line a little steeper in the morning. I had it off that. Either way, it works. So I mean, you have to draw the range because we have this low and this high, and the midline is clearly having influence over prices. So we had a news item here, and then we bounce, confirming that channel, and then we come back and we bounce again. So I mean, this one, I took this one. I went long here, but it's not really an entry according to Mack's system. I was a little nervous when you get this inside bar too, but I like that it closed on its high. But this one, second entry long, still aggressive because, you know, the floor could fall out and we could go lower. But I like it. Yeah, I like it. So you can see here they trapped a bunch of shorts because, well, first of all, the bulls were winning the battle. If you look, there's a strong bull move here, pretty strong move here, but that makes it look a little like we might be ranging, and then we get this stuff, and that makes it look like it might be ranging, and this makes it feel pretty balanced, this move down. But then we get this bull move right here, a little bit of a sell-off, and we continue to bounce off this. So I didn't think the bulls were like clearly in control, but I think the bias was up. So I think that you can take this one. And when we form this level of resistance, they trap a bunch of shorts right there. Nice bullish bar. Boom. It rockets up. We get this double test here. Sells off. You get a second entry long. But it just did not feel like the bulls were really like taking this thing much higher, or at least at this point. But you get a higher low if you don't want to take this one. And they trap a bunch of shorts again. Take it higher. And you get like a triple test up here. Super bearish bar. I think that's good enough for a scalp. There's so much resistance there. I don't think you want to take this lower high just because you're so close to this trend line. And you can see, I mean, it found support there, not for long, before this happens. This is a third entry, but it looks pretty good. It's pretty tempting. We get a sell-off after that, and then we go a little sideways at the midline of the range. And then you get a second entry short. That's also a double test. Just not a great signal bar. But then you get a lower high right here. So maybe you take that one. We get a sell-off. Nice move down. Find support in the area of yesterday's closing price. Bounce a few times here. Come back, and we bounce. The reason I like this one, is because it's a small bar, so there's room to these highs. There's not room to the midline, though. But it is a double test. If you don't like that, this looks like a second entry short. Really just like a double test though. It's a lower high. So maybe you take that. We break out to the low side, and we're near the lows of the day. So when you get this super bullish bar here, and a higher low, maybe you take that. And when you get that reversal pattern, super bullish bar, I like that. The bearish, this is the most bearish move here. Like this move is pretty bearish too, but you have some buying in there. So, there's reasons to like this. So we come out, break out, test the opening price, and then sell off. And it goes sideways, and we get this channel, and that's when I felt really confident that we were going to close this gap that I touched on in the beginning of the video. I don't see anything in here. Come up here, and you get a first entry, second entry. That confirms the trend line. Not a good signal bar. Not a lot of room to the low. So this is like a 7 out of 10, this trade. And that's a rating. I'm not saying it's going to work 7 out of 10 times, but I like it given the context. And then they have some traps in here. You get a second entry short. It traps people. They trap these people going long because people are just looking at the range. They don't see this gap from yesterday. So they're trapping a bunch of people going long. They're trapping the eager shorts who are trying to close the gap too early. So you can see clearly you get 2 legs of pullback, sells off, finds support again. So this one, I marked this one. It's a second entry long, but this is right where we hit that price level. So we didn't close the body gap, but this is where we closed the gap. I forget the term Al Brooks uses, but we hit it to the tick, and you get this super bullish bar. I think this is a good place to be aggressive. We have a new low on this channel, and it would have paid off. And then you get another second entry short trap right here, and that's just because of this midline. So if you know that, you know to stay out, and you got a doji right here anyway. Same thing over here. You got a doji right here. You got a doji right there, so you got to be careful. Come up here, double test, sell off, no good signal bar, and then we close this body gap, and it's off to the races after that. First entry, second entry, not a good signal bar. You get a higher low, bullish bar. That might be a good place to be aggressive, but you're going into support or resistance, excuse me. That gets a big move. First entry, second entry right here, but then you get this. So it looks like a 2-legged pullback to me. Come up here, same thing. First entry, second entry. This is actually a failure. I'm going to mark this blue because you have a failed second entry short, but it also just looks like a repeat pattern of this, like a 2-legged pullback. Well, actually, this looks like a second entry and a higher low, but the higher low comes here, so let me mark that one. And that's really all you could have done to get in. So they closed it on the high today. Let's take one look at the daily chart. I meant to mark this up, but basically you got that. So yesterday we found resistance at this this price level, and today we tried to break in. We'll see tomorrow if that works. My guess is we're heading to make a new high because we just had a break of the channel I've been playing. Let me put that on there. So, does it have to make a new high? No, it doesn't, but that's my guess. Because I don't think this is an overshoot up here. I think this is but I do think we have a break, so I think we're heading for a new high before anything. So, hope everyone had a good day. I'll be back tomorrow.